Hey, I hope you guys are having a great day. I just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about the containers and kind of like a this or that question. We have our containers, of course, and some of mine are dirty, so I'm just gonna show you these ones for example. And I like to just go over most people like reds are pretty easy. But I will tell you, so you're looking at your food list and you're trying to figure out, okay, so what do I fill these with? And of course, they're all clean ingredients. And I would consider to me, bacon is a real food. But in the program, they want you to choose something that's a little less fatty. So it would be turkey bacon. 4 slices of turkey bacon is 1 red. So it's just a good idea to get a look over your list and just become familiar. So what I recommend for you to do is have Beachbody on demand on your phone and on your TV. Of course, so you're either, you're doing the workouts, but also like you're out and about and you're going to eat and you're like, oh, I forget. Are chickpeas protein or are they a carb? And I, for the longest time, I counted them as a red, which is fine. They are a red in the vegan meal plan, but normally they're considered just a yellow. So if you want to go with the vegan meal plan, awesome, that's fine, and you can do that. And I've made swaps before because I like to eat a lot of meat-free options, but chickpeas in general are considered a yellow. They're a carb. They're higher in carbs than they are in protein, and so that's why they're counted that way. But the bacon is a perfect example of something that I would consider fine to eat, but for the best results, they want you to follow this food list. And these are all recommendations. And then for the yellow container, nuts are a great option, but you're gonna wanna look at the back of your nuts because a lot of them add oils to them, or even if you're getting like cocoa roasted almonds, like those have lots of sugar in them and additives. So you're gonna want mostly, for the most part, raw almonds. Roasted, check the back, but like roasted pistachios are usually safe. But yeah, just see what they're adding to them. But raw is usually your safest bet. And you can pull up the Beachbody On Demand app, pull up your program and say, okay, so how many pistachios are a blue? It's not a full container of pistachios. It's going to be 20 pistachios, and then I think it's 12 almonds, or maybe. So it's different because they're all different calorie contents. Or it's 1 full thing of avocado or 1 full thing of cheese. So that's the blue. So the yellow, I think, is what I get the most questions of. So I really wanted to just talk on that for a few minutes. So the yellow is carbs. What I love about this program is that you can still have pizza, you can still have pasta, you can still have bread, and not feel like you're being totally restricted, right? Because you're doing this for 3 weeks, you're doing this for 2 rounds, you're doing this for your whole life. It's making habits that you're saying, okay, how can I really make this a sustainable lifestyle? So let's just talk about the yellow container for a second. You are gonna want anything that's whole grains for your yellow. So you're still having pasta, but you're having a whole grain option. This is not the only one though. There are now bean pastas. So you can get a black bean pasta, you can get a chickpea pasta, you can get a brown rice pasta. But whatever it is, you're not just getting the white refined version of that yellow or the whites of the bread. You're gonna look at the back of a thing of bread and you're gonna say, okay, it's whole grains and there's not any like hydrogenated oils, which bring me to peanut butters. This is a this or that one, and I actually have this because this is what my husband loves, even though I'm on him all the time about it. So this one is a nice, smooth, creamy peanut butter, and you'll notice that for your teaspoons, you can have tons of nut butter, which is what I love. But this one, if you turn it around, you're gonna see that there's a lot more in it than just peanuts and salt. So this one has sugar, palm oil, and sea salt. And you're like, okay, well, that's not hydrogenated oils. Still, you're gonna wanna have something like this. Just salt and almonds, salt and peanuts, salt and whatever nuts. Nothing with added sugars, hydrogenated oils, palm oils, or sugars. This might be creamier, but it is not the cleanest version. It is stuff added to it. And in this, we're moving towards anything that's refined. So you might love this, but I'm going to encourage you to just try something that's really just roasted and a little bit of salt. And then let's talk about dried fruit because I get that a lot. So most programs have, and you always need to check your program materials, your food list, because every program is different. But for most programs, you can do, dried fruit is not considered a purple. You measure it in the orange container, like raisins, and then count it as a yellow because it is, everything's removed. All the fibers are removed, and that is, it's just sugar left over, really. Next one is yogurt, one thing I want to talk about too. And any questions, just make sure you just post in the comments. Everybody has questions, like, is soda allowed? No. You're going to want to try something like, but hey, I can give you suggestions. LaCroix, sparkling water with lemons. Check out the water bar. That has a lot of great options. So when choosing yogurt, you're going to want to go for a Greek or a regular, but it's going to want to be plain. You can use, check your list, but it's usually 1% or 2%, depending on your program. And I have this just because it's what I found. You have to look, for the 1% or 2%, but this is just what I had, and it's plain. I always get plain, and then you can drizzle like a teaspoon of honey. You're gonna wanna measure those, and your clean sweeteners would be raw honey or just honey, and then maple. And then I wanna say Country Heat has a type of raw sugar in it. But mostly it's that or some people like to use agave if you like that. But agave is still, to me, it's questionable. But so those are kind of answering questions. Just give me a minute, please. So those are answering questions about the containers and like a this or that. And I'd love to hear like any more questions that you guys might have. The green list is very, very basic. It's raw vegetables. So there shouldn't ever be anything added to your vegetables. And so the same goes for the purple. It's just no dried fruits would be in the fixed program. You'd have to measure them in the orange, count them as a yellow. And then, I'm trying to think of other containers. Spoons. Your spoons can be butter, mayonnaise. Check your mayo. You're going to want to get a good brand with minimal ingredients and no yucky oils. And again, those are like, we get into so many specifics. So just check the food list, post questions below, and always have your Beachbody On Demand on your phone so that when you're out and about, you can pull up a food list. There's also the 21 Day Fix Tracker app, and that one's a great one too if you're on that plan because the food lists are on there too. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your night.